Very good morning to all of you, my friends. Welcome back. I hope you guys are doing good. So, today is the last session on service costing. So, let me give you a brief about what all I have discussed in previous few sessions. In fact, previous sessions. So, good morning, Rohan. Good morning, Almas. So, now we started with service costing, wherein this method of costing is used by those companies who are basically providing services. So this costing is used to calculate the cost per units of service. When talking about units, it may vary from industry to industry. Further, for few industry, it is single unit also, composite units also. We discussed few questions on transportation industry, hotel industry, and hospital industry. So now let's proceed further with few more questions on various types of industries. So I'll be covering variety of question in today's session, and we'll be covering education institution, ITs, bankings, insurance companies, financial institution, education institution. So more or less, I'll be referring the study material because the variety of questions are not available anywhere else. So it's only the study material where we have few good questions. Apart from this, yes, there are few questions in MTPs or RTPs, so you can refer MTPs or RTPs also, but more or less the concept is same. Now, very important, guys, when talking about the other industry, the format is very simple. You have to prepare the statement of cost, that is the total cost divided by units. So the units may vary from industry to industry. So without wasting time, let's start with so last we discussed were hospital industry. So without wasting time, let's start with next illustration, illustration number 9, wherein we'll be discussing information technology based industry. So I request you to open your study material, illustration number 9, page number 12.35. Good morning, Shreya. Good morning, Anshu. Rohan, sir, whether break-even point is calculated in case of hospital industry? See again, break-even point can be calculated in any industry. कोई भी इंडस्ट्री में आप ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं. I'll be discussing this part in detail in marginal costing, but since that variety of question is given in hospital industry, so I have covered. But yes, I repeat again, break-even point can be calculated in any industry. So what is break-even point? It's the point where there is no profit, no loss. ये वो पॉइंट है जहां पे हमें ना तो फायदा होता है ना नुकसान होता है. तो ये कहीं पे भी इवन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट्स में भी वी विल बी कैलकुलेटिंग ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट. So there is no fixed criteria. Anyone else with any doubts or queries? Till now, I have discussed many questions. So anyone having any doubts? More or less, in fact, most of the students face problem in illustration number 4 of study material. So I have discussed that illustration in detail. And apart from this, I have added a variety. I have added one more question wherein, I have discussed like if it is distance up to 2 kilometers, 6 kilometers, 8 kilometers. So I have added a variety of question that is related to illustration number 4. So anyone having any doubts or queries, then you guys can please post. Rest we will start with illustration number 9 of study material. So I'm waiting for your queries, guys. So let's start with illustration number 9. Following are the data pertaining to Infotech Private Limited for the year 22-23. Illustration number 9, page number 12.35. Following are the data pertaining to Infotech Private Limited for the year ending 22-23. So salary to software engineer, there are total 5 persons and 15 lakh is the total salary that we are paying. Salary to the project leader, it is 2% and we are paying 9 lakh rupees. Salary to the project manager, there is only one project manager, we are paying him 6 lakh. Repairs and maintenance is 3 lakh and administration overheads are 12 lakh. The company executes a project XYZ. So they're now talking. So this is the information given for the year of that company. Now they are giving some additional information about a project. So the company execute a project XYZ. The detail of the same are as follows, wherein the project duration is 6 months. Now, one project leader and three software engineers were involved for the entire duration of the project. So one project leader and three software engineers were basically working on this project for 6 months. Whereas the project manager spends 2 months efforts during the execution of the project. Now the travel expenses incurred on the project is 187,500. Two laptops were purchased at a cost of 50,000 each for use in the project, and the life for the same is estimated to be 2 years. So we will calculate the depreciation. So now let's start. You are required to prepare the project cost sheet. So let's start with this question. So one project leader and three software engineers were involved for the entire duration of the project. So let's start with project leader. Now see, the project leader salary is 9 lakh for two persons. Nine lakh is the salary for two persons. So one person is required, and that too also he is working only for 6 months in the project because the project duration is 6 months only. So 4,50,000 into 6 divided by 12, we can say it is 2,25,000. Further, three software engineers were involved for the entire duration of the project. So the salary of the software engineer is 15 lakh. Now this salary is for how many persons? 5 persons. And we are deploying 3 persons and they are working for 6 months. So this will be 4,50,000. Further, when talking about the project manager, it spends 2 months. So the project manager salary is 6 lakh. And it is deploying 2 months. So this will be 1 lakh. This is all what about salary. So let's calculate the total salary. 7,75,000. Now see, we are done with the salaries. Now see, there are additional costs, that is travel expenses and depreciation laptop. But apart from this, there are general overheads of the company, that is repairs and maintenance and administration overhead. So these are the general overheads of the company. Now, these overheads also are to be charged to this project, because ये जो overheads incur किए as a whole incur किए. So these overheads need to be charged to this project cost sheet to calculate the total cost. Now the question is how ये overheads charge कैसे करें? Because see, salary के रिलेटेड जो भी डेटा है वो आपको स्पेसिफिकली गिवन है क्वेश्चन में. बट व्हाट अबाउट रिपेयर्स एंड मेंटेनेंस? हाउ मच रिपेयर्स एंड मेंटेनेंस इज रिक्वायर्ड फॉर दिस प्रोजेक्ट, or how much administration overheads are required for this project? That is not given in the question. So now, since these overheads cannot be apportioned directly or cannot be charged directly, so what we have to do, we have to calculate the absorption rate, and that rate is used to charge the overheads to this project cost sheet. Now see, this information technology based industry is highly dependent upon skilled labor. So this is the best basis of absorption. I have discussed this part in overhead, that we have to figure out the best basis of absorption, and then accordingly we will calculate the absorption rate and we will charge. So I am writing this for your reference, since information technology industry is highly dependent on working professionals, or we can say on skilled labor. Therefore, general overheads are to be absorbed on the basis of salary paid to IT professionals. So here in the general overheads are 15 lakh. The total salary paid to this persons are total 30 lakh. Into 100. So we can say 50%. इन शॉर्ट जो भी सैलरीज पे करेंगे उसका 50% हमारे क्या होंगे? जनरल ओवरहेड्स, दैट इज रिपेयर्स एंड मेंटेनेंस एंड एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ओवरहेड इन दिस केस. So now we have calculated the absorption rate, so we will apply this absorption rate to calculate the total cost of the project. So will be 50% of salary, so 7,75,000 into 50%. So 387,500. This cost is separately incurred. This cost we have considered, we have absorbed and calculated it accordingly. Now the traveling expenses is given separately. It is given 187,500. Now depreciation on laptops. It is given in the question that the laptops were purchased at a cost of 50,000 each. Two laptops were purchased at a cost of 50,000 each. So total cost is 1 lakh. Further, the useful life is given, that is 2 years. So divided by 2 years. and it is used only for 6 months, so into 6 by 12. So this will be 25,000. This is the cost of this project. Anyone having any doubts or queries, you guys can please post. So again, the concept is same, be it any industry. Apart from transportation industry, there is no specified format for hotel industry, hospital industry, and any other industry. So very simple, calculate the total cost. If units are given, divided by units, you will get the cost per unit. So those who have any doubts or queries, you guys can please post. I request you guys to at least copy this footnote. This is not given in the material. See, 15 lakh are the total general overheads. 15 lakh are the general overheads divided by total salary paid is 30 lakh into 100. So this is how I got 50%. The question is not asking us to calculate the per unit cost. They are asking us to calculate the cost of project. And this is the cost of project, Rohan. Pooja, hopefully your query is resolved. See, this 15 lakh is basically 3 lakh and 12 lakh. And 30 lakh is basically 9 lakh plus 6 lakh plus 15 lakh. So basically this is total overheads divided by total salary into 100. So this is how I got this absorption rate of 50%. अब ये जो भी सैलरी पे किया है उसका 50% जो होगा वो हमारे क्या हो जाएंगे, ओवरहेड्स हो जाएंगे. I hope it is clear, Pooja. Rohan, any doubts? Yes, Rohan, tell me. Yes, Rohan, tell me. Admin sir, can you please unmute Rohan? Yes, Pooja, tell me. Yes, Pooja.
सर
Yes.
सर सुन पा रहे हैं?
Yes, yes, बताइए.
गुड मॉर्निंग सर.
Very good morning, dear. Tell me.
सर ये जानना था कि जनरल ओवरहेड और जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ओवरहेड है, रिपेयर एंड मेंटेनेंस और एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, इनका हम 50% नहीं करेंगे सर, सैलरी का 50% क्यों कर रहे हैं?
आपने ओवरहेड चैप्टर अटेंड किया था पूजा मेरा?
नो सर, एक्चुअली सेकंड लेक्चर है।
नो वरीज, दैट्स ओके। देखिए, टोटल ओवरहेड्स हमारे हैं 15 लाख के,
यस
टोटल
सर।
सैलरी है 30 लाख का। मतलब इसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि जो भी टोटल सैलरीज पे करेंगे उसका 50% क्या होगा? ओवरहेड। दिस इज व्हाट दिस इज, राइट पूजा? 15 लाख इज फिफ्टी
सैलरी का
परसेंट ऑफ 30 लाख।
50% होगा।
15 लाख क्या है? थर्टी
यस।
50% ऑफ 30 लाख है, राइट? मतलब 30 लाख हमारी क्या है? सैलरीज है।
यस।
तो जो भी सैलरीज पे करेंगे उसका 50% हमारे क्या है? ओवरहेड्स है, राइट? यस पूजा? हेलो पूजा? आई थिंक देर आर नेटवर्क इश्यूज फ्रॉम योर एंड। सो द पॉइंट इज, जो भी हमने सैलरीज पे किया उसका 50% ओवरहेड है। दिस इज व्हाट इज दिस 50%? दैट जो भी हम लोग सैलरीज पे कर रहे हैं उसका 50% ओवरहेड है। सो हियर इन हाउ मच सैलरीज वी आर पेइंग? 7,75,000। सो उसका 50% हमारा क्या हो जाएगा? ओवरहेड्स हो जाएगा। यस रोहन, टेल
बट
मी। हाँ, हाँ जी पूजा बताइए।
तो सर ये मतलब ओवरहेड और हम सॉरी रिपेयर मेंटेनेंस और एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन इनका नहीं होगा सर 50%? मतलब मेरे को बार बार ये हो रहा है कि इनका 50% होना चाहिए।
इनका
वो
50% नहीं होगा यार, एक सिंपल मैथमेटिक्स है। सी, टोटल ओवरहेड्स है हमारे so, अगर आप ओवरहेड्स चैप्टर पढ़ेंगे ना तो शायद आपको बेटर अंडरस्टैंडिंग आएगा। बट अगेन आई मीन ओवरहेड्स आर नॉट रिक्वायर्ड, इट्स अ सिंपल मैथमेटिक्स दैट 15 लाख इज 50% ऑफ 30 लाख। 30 लाख इज व्हाट माय सैलरीज। तो माय सैलरीज आर 7,75,000, so उसका 50% हमारे क्या हो जाएंगे? ओवरहेड्स हो जाएंगे।
ओके सर।
यस रोहन, टेल मी। यस रोहन, टेल मी। Okay, so let's proceed further. So this is all what about this question. Anyone else having any doubts? You are already on unmute, Rohan. Anyways, anyone else with any doubts or queries? Those who want to copy the explanation can please copy, else we will start with the next question. I request you guys to copy this explanation at least. So now we are done with this question. Let's start with one more question again, a different industry. That is costing of toll roads. Again, I repeat, very simple, be it any industry, the format is same. That is the total cost divided by units. The units may vary from industry to industry. So in transportation industry, it was kilometers, passenger kilometers, ton kilometers. In hotel industry, it was room days. It was in hospital industry, it was patient beds. So it may vary from industry to industry. So let's start with costing of toll roads. I request you guys to please open illustration number 10, page number 12.39. I'll be referring illustration number 10 from study material, page number 12.39. So let's start with illustration number 10. So this question is about the toll agencies who collect toll on the highways. So they are also providing services. So accordingly, I mean, how much toll is required to be charged, that we will be discussing in this question. So BHG Toll Plaza Limited built a 60 kilometers long highway and now operates a toll plaza to collect tolls from passing vehicles using the highway. So generally what these toll agencies do, the government gives them contract to build highway, and once the highway is ready, so to recover their cost, they do charge toll. So now let's proceed further. The company has estimated that a total of 12 crores vehicles, only single type of vehicle, will be using the highway during the period of 10 years, and that is the toll collection tenure. So in a period of 10 years, total 12 crore vehicles, they are estimating that, I mean, will be paying us the toll. So toll operating and management costs for the month of April is given. So the monthly data is given, wherein salary to collection persons, total 3 shifts, 4 person per shift, 550 per day per person. Similarly, the data is given for supervisors, security personnel, toll booth managers. Apart from the salaries paid, the cost of electricity is 8 lakh, telephone it is 1 lakh 40,000, maintenance cost it is 30 lakh. Monthly depreciation and amortization expenses will be 1 crore 50 lakh. So 1 crore 50 lakh will be the depreciation and amortization expenses. Further, the company need 25% profit over toll to cover interest and other costs. So they are expecting a profit of 25% over the cost. So cost plus 25%, we will get the total revenue. You are required to calculate the cost per kilometer per month. Second point, calculate the toll rate per vehicle. So let's prepare the statement of cost. So let's start with salaries first of all. So 3 shifts, 4 person. So 3 shifts, 4 persons. So total, how many persons? 12 person. They are paying rupees 550 per day per person. So into 550 per day per person into 30 days. Into 30 days. So 1,98,000 will be the salary paid to collection persons. Thereafter, next is supervisor. 2 shifts, one person per shift into 30 days into the amount paid to them is 750. So this will be 45,000. Next is security personals, total 3 shifts, 6 person per shift. Total 3 shifts, 6 person per shift into 450 rupees per person per shift per day per person into 30 days. So total 18 staff, 3 into 6, 18 staff. They are paid rupees 450 per day into 30 days in a month. So 2,43,000. Next is stall booth manager. Two shifts, 1 person. So this will be 54,000. So we are done with all the salaries now. Let's start with electricity. The cost of electricity is 8 lakh. Further, the telephone cost is 1,40,000. Maintenance cost is 30 lakh. Apart from this, it is given that monthly depreciation and amortization expenses will be 1 crore 50 lakh. One crore 50 lakh. Further, the company needs profit that we will consider later. Since this is a statement of cost, so my total cost will be 19 lakh, 1 crore 94 lakh 80,000. This is the cost for the month. Anyone having any doubts, then you guys can please post your queries. The question is asking us to calculate the cost per kilometer per month. So if we divide by number of kilometers, that is 60, will get the cost per kilometer. Amortization is basically related to cost. Depreciation or amortization. There must be some amount they are amortizing. That's why, Rohan. So herein again, as I said, the concept is same. The total cost divided by units. So herein the units are kilometers. So 60 kilometers, the cost per kilometer will be 324,667. Next is that calculate the toll rate per vehicle. So we have the total cost, that is 1 crore 94 lakh 80,000. In this, we have to add profit at the rate of 20%. Just check the profit is given on, 25% over total cost. So 48 lakh 70,000. So my expected revenue will be 2 crore 43 lakh 50,000 divided by number of vehicles. So when talking about vehicles, they are expecting 12 crore vehicles in a period of 10 years. So per year it will be 1 crore. Sorry, per into per month, because this is what the monthly cost or revenue. So this will be divided by total 10 lakh vehicles. So 12 crore in 10 years. So we can say 12 crore in 10 years. So 1 crore 20 lakh vehicles in a year. And when talking about the number of vehicles in a month, it will be 10 lakh. So when talking about the toll per vehicle, it will be 24.35. So this is the way you guys have to solve the question. If you guys have any doubts, again I repeat, it is 12 crore vehicle, 12 crore vehicle in 10 years. So in 1 year it will be 1 crore 20 lakh, and in 1 month it will be 10 lakh. So total revenue divided by expected number of vehicles, we will get the toll rate per vehicle. Anyone having any doubts or queries, you guys can please post, waiting for your queries. Those who want to copy this explanation, you guys can please copy, giving you 2 minutes time to copy the same. Good morning, Priyanshi. Yes, all the questions are easy. The point is the practice is the key. I hope Pooja, I mean, you're able to understand the concept. Any doubts, Pooja? The concept is very simple, Pooja, that you have to calculate the total cost divided by units. That's it. So don't feel like that, okay, you are attending the first class, you will be able to understand this chapter. And again, coming to chapter, it will be fresh session. So don't worry, you will be able to understand the concept. Yes, Rohan. See, the total cost is 1 crore 94 lakh 80,000 divided by number of kilometer. So this is the cost per kilometer. And when talking about the calculation of toll rate per vehicle, this is the toll rate per vehicle. These are the two questions that is basically, these are the two questions what we have to solve. Anyone else with any doubts? Priyanshi, Rohan, Almas, Anshu, Shreya, Neeraj. Tanu, any doubts? Sunil Kumar, Mr. Almas, Mr. Parvez. So let's proceed further. Next is the question on cost of education institution. So let's keep this question on hold. Again, the question is a bit lengthy. If I discuss this question, the session, it's going to take some time. So if the time permits, I'll be discussing this question also. Again, the question is easy. The point is you have to read the language quite carefully and solve the question step by step. If the time permits, I'll be discussing this question also. Don't worry. So let's skip illustration number 11. Again, it's not tricky. It's bit lengthy. The concept is the same. The total cost divided by units. That's it. So let's start with the next question, that is costing an insurance company. I request you guys to please open illustration number 12. Illustration number 12, page number 12.49. So Sensiate Life Care Limited operates in life insurance business. Last year, it launched a new term insurance policy for practicing professionals. That is Professional Protection Plus policy. The company has incurred the following expenditures during the last year for the policy, wherein policy development cost, it is 11 lakh 25,000. The cost of marketing of the policy is 45 lakh 20,000. Sales support expenses, it is 11 lakh 45,000. Policy issuance cost, it is 10 lakh 5,900. Thereafter, the information is given on policy servicing cost, claim management cost, IT cost, and plus the general cost, that is postage and logistic, facilities, employees cost, office administration cost. So after incurring all these costs, the number of policies sold are 528 and the insurance value is 1320 crores. So the insured amount is 1320 crores and the total number of policies sold are 528 policies. Calculate the total cost for professional protection plus policy, segregating the cost into four main activities. So आपको क्या करना है, टोटल कॉस्ट निकालना है. अब जो भी कॉस्ट है उसको चार पार्ट्स में बांटना है. यू हैव टू डिस्ट्रीब्यूट द कॉस्ट इन फोर पार्ट्स. दैट इज मार्केटिंग एंड सेल्स सपोर्ट, सेकंड इट इज ऑपरेशन, थर्ड इट इज आईटी एंड फोर्थ इट इज सपोर्ट फंक्शन. सो हियर if the question is asking you only to calculate the total cost, so ये जो भी cost दिया हुआ इसका totally will be the total cost. But herein इस question में they have added a bit, one more point, that you have to distribute the cost in four parts. Now again guys, do make a note of it. Examiner ऐसा जरूरी नहीं आपको ऐसा ही question पूछेगा. Examiner can give you fifth more part for segregation. So it's up to you. Use your brains and solve the question. But sometimes examiner can ask you straight away that calculate the total cost and calculate the cost per policy. So कोई जरूरी नहीं है कि इंश्योरेंस के क्वेश्चन में ऐसा बोला जाएगा कि that you have to distribute the expenses as this and this, whatever it is. The question can or examiner can ask anything. But the pattern, the format is, the concept is the key. That is the total cost divided by units. Now, the second question, what they are asking is that you are required to calculate the cost per policy. So here in an insurance company, generally units are what? The policies sold. Anyways, further, they are also asking us to calculate the cost per rupee of the insured value. So ultimately, we have to calculate the total cost divided by either the number of policies sold or the insured value. So let's start with this question. So herein you have to use common sense and distribute the cost. Again, there is no fixed pattern in service costing. Examiner can ask anything. Examiner can ask you the question on some new industry also, which is not given in the study material. But again, stick to the concept, calculate, prepare the statement of cost, calculate the total cost divided by units. The units may vary from industry to industry. So anyways, let's start with the illustration number 12 part. So herein, we have to distribute the cost in four parts. The first part is marketing and sales support. So when talking about marketing and sales support, let's start with the information. Policy development cost. It is basically the marketing cost or research cost. So again, it will go in under the head marketing and sales support. So policy development cost is 11,25,000. Second, cost of marketing the policy. The name itself says that it's the cost of marketing. ₹45,20,000. Sales support expenses again. Sales support expenses are again straight away given in the question. That is 11,45,000. Now, next is policy issuance cost. It has nothing to do with marketing and sales and support. It's a part of operation. So let's close it here. So next is policy issuance cost. It is given as 1005900. Next is policy servicing cost. These are the basic operation of the company. So it will go under operation cost. Next is claim management cost. Again, this is the basic operation of the company. Policy issue karna, policy ka servicing cost and claim management cost. These are the major operations of the insurance company. So it will go under operation cost. The next is IT cost. IT cost is straight away given in the question, that is 74,32,000. We can say this is total C. Better to write directly C only. 74,32,000. The next bifurcation, the question is asking us for support function. So rest all are support function. That is the additional cost, that is postage and logistic, facility cost, employee cost, and office administration cost. Simply, we have to calculate the cost, that is the total cost. So this will be 11,25,000. So this will be 67,90,000. So this is the total cost. Thanks, Pooja. Now the question is asking us to calculate the cost per policy. So we have the total cost. Divided by the number of policies sold. So when talking about the number of policies sold, it is 528. So this is how we will get the cost per policy. Next, the question is asking us to calculate the cost per rupee of the insured value. So herein again 26, 23, 60, 3600 divided by my insured value is 1320 crores. So it will be 0.001788. Again, the question is simple, straight. You have to stick to the concept, the total cost divided by units. Again, examiner can ask you straight away, no need to bifurcate, calculate the total cost divided by units, you can do so. Now see, अगर एग्जाम में ये क्वेश्चन आता है सपोज, और सपोज बाय एनी चांस अगर आपका इसके अंदर कहीं मिस्टेक हो जाता है बाइफर्केशन में, तो शायद आपका थोड़ा बहुत मिस्टेक हो जाएगा और उसका कुछ मार्क्स कट जाएगा. बट अगेन this answer will remain unchanged because at the end of the day it is the total cost. So suppose if अगर ये 8 मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन आता है और अगर आपसे कुछ मिस्टेक हो जाता है इन बाइफर्केशन, examiner will give you at least 5 to 6 marks for this question. Don't worry. So examiner do give marks for every step. ऐसा नहीं है कि final answer wrong हुआ the examiner is going to give you 0. Examiner is going to give you marks for every step. So use your brains, try to solve the question completely, try to solve the paper in full, and prepare the working note. If you're finding anything difficult, just write the footnote or prepare the working note. For every working note, you will also get some marks. So कुछ भी आपके दिमाग में चल रहा है, you are calculating it, just show it in the answer sheet. You will get marks for every working note. Anyways, those who have any doubts or queries, you guys can please post your queries. Policy development cost is basically the sales and support only. Okay, see, policy development cost has nothing to do with operation, nothing to do with IT, and nothing to do with support function. So if it is not classified in any three, then it will be classified under marketing and sales support. Policy development cost is not the operational cost. When talking about the operational cost, Priyanshi, it is related to issuance of policy and claims. The support services are the additional costs that are incurred for running the business. So it cannot be classified in operation. IT cost cannot be classified. This is not a support function. So it will go under marketing and sales support, Priyanshi. So थोड़ा सा कॉमन सेंस आपको यूज करना पड़ेगा. See, when the customer raises the claims for life insurance or any other insurance, we have to pay the claim. So for raising the claim also, we have to conduct survey, inspection, we need to check everything. So these are the costs that are incurred before processing the claim. So we can say that it is claim management cost. I hope it is clear, Rohan. Any other doubt, Priyanshi? No need to copy the solution. The solution is given straight away in the study material. Let's start with one more variety of question, illustration number 13. So let's start with illustration number 13. Again, this question is basically based on financial institutions. So let's start with illustration number 13. The financial institution provides us loans and we do pay them interest. Anyways, the loan department of it can be bank also, wherein we deposit money, or the bank give us loans. So it can be used by banks also or other non-banking financial institutions. So the loan department of a bank performs several functions in addition to home loan application task. Further, it is given that it is estimated that 25% overhead cost of loan department are applicable to the processing of home loan. So banks are performing a variety of function. So they are saying that whatever the cost that belongs to loan, 25% is to be charged to the home loan part. I repeat the question again. It is estimated that 25% of the total overhead cost of the loan department are applicable, or we can say are related to the home loan department. So are applicable to the processing of home loan application. The following information is given concerning the processing of a loan application. So loan processor monthly salary is 2,40,000. This is basically the direct professional labor, or we can say the direct cost for the home loan department. Now, apart from this cost, the costs that are incurred as a whole by the loan processing department are also given. So see, 2,40,000 is the direct professional labor for home loan department. But the other costs that are incurred as a whole by loan department are 75,000 for chief officers, chief loan officer salary, telephone expenses, depreciation building, legal advice, advertisement, miscellaneous, and the total overhead cost. So this is the cost that is given. That is 1,81,000. It is the total overheads apart from the cost that is directly attributable. That is the loan processor monthly salary. You are required to compute the cost of processing home loan application on the assumption that 500 home loan applications are processed each month. So herein, let's start with this question. See, 500 loan applications are processed every month. So we have to prepare the monthly cost sheet, because the monthly data is given and the question is asking us to calculate the cost per home loan application, and 500 are the monthly home loan application. So let's prepare the statement of cost. This is illustration number 13. So loan processor monthly salary is given 2,40,000. Now other overheads are total. Total overheads are 1,81,000. Of this, 25% is to be charged for home loan. So this will be 45,250. So total cost this will be 285,250. This is basically the monthly cost. Now the number of application processed are 500. So we can easily calculate the cost per application. So that's it. सो कई बार स्टूडेंट्स क्या देखते हैं कि अरे ये क्वेश्चन आउट ऑफ सिलेबस आ गया. अरे नथिंग इज आउट ऑफ सिलेबस. द पॉइंट इज स्टिक टू द कॉन्सेप्ट एंड कैलकुलेट द टोटल कॉस्ट. सो अगर सपोज एग्जाम में कोई नया वेराइटी ऑफ क्वेश्चन आता है, आई मीन दैट इज नॉट गिवन इन द स्टडी मटेरियल, सो डोंट स्किप दैट क्वेश्चन. कई बार स्टूडेंट्स क्या करते हैं, वो क्वेश्चन एग्जाम में छोड़ देते हैं. डोंट स्किप. Always remember that if the question is bit different, it will be on the easier side, because generally even the institutes also keep in mind that if a particular pattern is not given in the study material, they generally do ask a bit easy question for the same. So the point is, don't leave that question or don't keep the question in option. It's a bonus marks for you guys. The question is very easy. The point is that, I mean, you have to stick to the concepts. Anyone having any doubts or queries, you guys can please post. Waiting for your queries, guys. Till now, we have discussed 3 to 4 questions on various industries. Whatever the doubts you have, be it anything, what I have discussed in today's session, you guys can please post your queries. Waiting for your queries on the part, any conceptual queries or general queries that is nothing related to question also on the industries, what I have discussed, you guys can please post. Be it banking, be it toll collection agencies, be it IT professionals, be it anything, you guys can please post your queries. Be it insurance companies also, you guys can please post your queries. See, Rohan, again the question is saying that जो भी overheads है उसका 25% is for the home loan department. So straight away you can calculate the total is given, total into 25%. That's it. Anyone else with any doubts? Tanu, Miss Sanju, Mohammed, Parvez, Priyanshi, Pooja. Pooja, what you are asking, it is paper presentation. I mean, I'm not getting Pooja. Sunil Kumar, Neeraj, any doubts? Yes, Tanu, इतने easy questions एग्जाम में आते हैं, but students generally क्या करते हैं कि पूरा पढ़ाई करके नहीं जाते and they generally, when they see these types of question, oh, it is out of syllabus. Generally, what students do, they do prepare for transportation industry, hotels, hospitals, and one or two questions. But generally, they skip the questions. These are like छोटे छोटे questions skip कर देते हैं. सोचते हैं कि ये एग्जाम में नहीं आएंगे. And sometimes examiner, they do ask these types of questions. Yes, the point is, if you have read that question before, then you can easily solve this question. In fact, in the past also, in few chapter, examiner asked very easy question. But generally क्या होता है कि study material में एक छोटा सा question दिया हुआ होता है, and generally students ignore that question, that okay, ये question नहीं आ सकता. And sometimes examiner do ask these questions. And many students say that, okay, better keep it in option because we have not studied these questions. So that is the key. Anything else? Anyone? Yes, Pooja, any doubts? The point is, आप कुछ भी syllabus में don't leave even one page in option. You have to see. कई बार students क्या करते हैं कि कुछ chapter option में छोड़ देते हैं, like cost sheet और unit और batch costing. बोले इसमें से question नहीं आएगा. But yes, examiner do ask question on. Examiner can ask question on any chapter. See, earlier in the old syllabus, the costing was of 60 marks and financial management was of 40 marks. Now the costing and management accounting paper is a full 100 marks. So don't leave any chapter in option. Examiner can ask you questions from any of the chapter, be it easy or be it on the tougher side. And sometimes examiner asks, examiner इतना easy question पूछ लेता है that students are not being able to understand, okay, how come the question can be so easy? There must be some twist or turn in that question. But the point is, stick to the concept. Don't leave any chapter. Practice each and every chapter thoroughly. Surely we'll be able to score more than 75% marks in costing. Rest other subjects I can't say, but yes, in costing, if you read each and every chapter thoroughly, from the study material also, you can easily score distinction. The point is, stick to the concept. There are no formulas in cost accounting, and plus do writing practice of the questions that are given in study material, past examination, MTPs, RTPs. No one can stop you from scoring more than 75 or 75% marks. %100%, Priyanshi. Even it has happened to me also. That's why I'm teaching you guys that not to do these kinds of stunts. Anyone else with any doubts or queries? So fine, guys. Let's take a break of 15 minutes. I'll be back after 15 minutes with few more questions. If possible, if the time permits, I'll be discussing that question on education institution also. The question is easy. In the meanwhile, okay, I suggest you guys, if you're not tired, just in 15 minutes break, I suggest you guys to read each and every line of the question on education institution. You'll be able to understand that there is nothing in this question, but the question is bit on the lengthier side. Rest everything is same. So try to read the question carefully 1 or 2 times. You'll be able to understand the question on education institution also. So let's take a break of 15 minutes. I'll be back after 15 minutes with few more questions. And if the time permits, we'll discuss that question on education institution also. Admin sir. Welcome back, my friends. I hope you guys read that question on education institution. Anyways, let's proceed further. Let's discuss few more questions. Then I'll be discussing question on education institution. So let's discuss a question on costing for powerhouses. Illustration number 14. I've discussed illustration number 13. So now let's start with illustration number 14. I think this is the last question. Apart from this, now we are left out with only the question on education institution. So let's start with illustration number 14. So prepare the statement of Ignis thermal power station showing the cost of electricity generated per kilowatt from the data provided below pertaining to the year 22-23. So now moving towards the next industry, that is the power generation sector. So herein the units are basically the electricity or the power generated. So let's start. So you are required to prepare the statement of cost for Ignis thermal power station showing the cost of electricity generated per kilowatt from the data provided below pertaining to the year 22-23. So total units generated are 20 lakh kilowatt. Further, the expenditures are given wherein the operating labor it is 30 lakh, repairs and maintenance it is 10 lakh, lubricating spares and stores it is 8 lakh, plant supervision cost it is 6 lakh, administration expenses are 40 lakh, 5 kilowatt of electricity is generated per kg of coal consumed. So from every kg of coal, 5 kilowatt of electricity is generated. 1 kilowatt coal से 5 kilowatt electricity generate होता है. So herein we can easily calculate the coal that is consumed, and the price of coal is also given, that is 4.25 per kg. The depreciation is to be charged at the rate of 5% of the capital cost, that is 5 crore. So let's start with this question. Now, herein in this question, the bifur is given as regards fixed and variable. So it's up to you to prepare it either fixed or variable, or straight away you can prepare the statement of cost. Examiner is not going to deduct any marks. So let's start with this question. Illustration number 14, page number 12.54. So operating labor it is 30 lakh, repairs and maintenance it is 10 lakh. Lubricating spares and stores it is 8 lakh. Plant supervision cost is 6 lakh. Administration overheads are 40 lakh. Depreciation, it is 5 crore into 5%. So this will be 25 lakh. Now coal cost. So total electricity generated is 20 lakh kilowatt. And from 1 kg of coal, 5 kilowatt of electricity is generated. Into the rate of coal, it is to 4.5 per kilo. Sorry, 4.25 per kilo. So it comes to 17 lakh. So herein we'll get the total cost, that is 30 plus 10, 40 plus 8, 48 plus 6, 54, 94. 1 crore 36 lakh. So this is my total cost. The question is asking us to calculate the cost of electricity generated per kilowatt. So divided by kilowatt of electricity, that is 20 lakh. So cost per kilowatt will be 6.8. That's it. I hope this question is clear to all. Now, few students again will say that the question is easy, and this type of question examiner has asked in more than 3 to 4 attempts. So the similar type of question examiner has asked in 3 to 4 attempts. So if you guys have any doubts or queries, you guys can please post. Priyanshi, Tanu, any doubts? एग्जाम में ये क्वेश्चन 3 से 4 बार आ चुका है, दिस टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन. Miss Julie Kumari, any doubts? I think you are here over Zoom for the first time. Any doubts, Julie, Pooja? So now let's proceed further with the last question. Still, if we have sufficient time. So let's start with this question on education institution. Illustration number 15, you can solve it on your own. It's a very easy question, just like the question what we have discussed. So now let's proceed further with the last question of today's session and for this chapter, that is illustration number 11. So now let's read this question first of all. So AD Higher Secondary School offer courses for 11th and 12th standard in 3 streams. So for the higher secondary section, for the higher secondary standards, they are offering the syllabus for 3 streams, that is arts, commerce, and science. This school runs higher secondary classes along with primary and secondary also. So this school runs primary, secondary, and higher secondary. In higher secondary, they are running 3 streams, that is arts, commerce, and science. Now, but for the accounting purpose, it treats higher secondary as a separate responsibility center. So primary and secondary, a separate responsibility center, and higher secondary, a separate responsibility center. The management company of the school want to revise the fee structure for higher secondary students. That is for 11th and 12th, they are planning to revise the fees. The accountant of the school has provided the following details for the year. So the yearly data is given in the question, wherein there are total 25 teachers and they are paid rupees 35,000 per month salary for 12 months. Principal salary, so there is a principal whose salary is 14,40,000. Lab attendant salary, there are 2 lab attendants and they are paid rupees 15,000 per month salary for 12 months. Salary to library staff is given, salary to peon. So 4 peons are there and their salary is 10,000 per month. So the 12 months data is given. Salary to other staff, examination expenditure, office and general administration cost, annual day expenses are also given and sports expenses are also given. Now, other information. So the number of students for higher secondary, that is 11th and 12th, are given. For arts, it is 120. For commerce, it is 360. And for science, it is 180. And for primary and secondary section, they have 840 students. When talking about the lab classes, it is only for primary and secondary and science section for higher secondary. 2 examinations are conducted for every part, be it secondary or higher secondary. Time spent at a library by a student per year, by students per year, 180, 120, 240, and 60 hours respectively for arts, commerce, science, and primary and secondary section. Time spent by the principal for administration in arts is also given. Teachers, that is the number of teachers for 11th and 12th standard, is 4, 5, 6. And in fact, for the primary section also, they have given teachers for 11th and 12th standard. It is 4, 5, 6, and 10. So this is the breakup of 25 teachers. So of these 25 teachers, 10 belongs to the primary section and 4, 5, and 6 respectively for arts, commerce, and science. The number of teachers are given. So this is the breakup of 25 teachers who are working in the school. Now here additional information is given. One teacher who teaches economics. There is one teacher who teaches economics for arts stream students, also teaches commerce students. The teacher take 1,040 classes in a year. It includes 208 classes for commerce student. So out of the 1,040 classes, 208 classes are for commerce students, rest are for art students. So these are the details of one economics teacher. Now, there is one mathematics teacher also for science stream students, also teaches business mathematics to commerce stream students. So there is one science teacher, a science mathematics teacher who also teaches mathematics to commerce students, and she takes 1100 classes in a year, which include 160 classes for the commerce student. Further, when talking about peon, one peon is fully dedicated for higher secondary Welcome back, students. There was a power failure, so that's why I couldn't connect. Anyways, guys, let's proceed further. Let me complete this question. So, where we were, so there is one teacher who teaches business mathematics to the science students. Also, there is one teacher who teaches mathematics to science students, also teaches business mathematics to commerce students. And the number of classes that is taken by a commerce for the commerce students, it is given. Now further, one peon is fully dedicated for higher secondary section, and other peon dedicate their 15% time for higher secondary section. All schools, all school students, irrespective of section and age, participate in annual function and sports activity. So the details are given for the annual function and sports activity. You are required to calculate the cost per students per annum for the three streams. So now this question is talking nothing about the secondary section. They are just talking about the higher secondary section, that is 11th and 12th. Now, ultimately, what we have to do in this question is that we have to distribute the cost. आपको cost क्या करना है? Three parts में बांटना है. For arts, commerce, and science. That's it. So, ultimately, जो भी cost है, उसको हम लोगों को arts, commerce और science में distribute करना है. Be it teacher salary, principal salary, lab attendant salary, salary to library staff, salary to peon, salary to other staff, examination expenditures, and all. Now the trickiest part is the calculation of teacher salary. So I'll be explaining this part in detail. When talking about the teacher salary, see, the teachers are paid 35,000 per month for full 12 months. The teachers are paid 35,000 salary for full 12 months, and the number of teachers for arts, commerce, and science is given straight away, that is 4, 5, and 6. So let's prepare a working note on teacher salary. When talking about the number of teachers, it is 4, 5, and 6. So the total salary for the teachers is how much? Manish sir, it is visible now. It's visible now? Okay. It's visible now? Okay. So the teacher salary is 35,000 per month. So 35,000 into 4 into 12. So this will be 16 lakh 80,000 for arts. 21 lakh for commerce, and for science it will be 25 lakh 20,000. So these are the salaries that are paid to various teachers for these three streams. Again, in this question, we has nothing to do with the primary or secondary section. Now, let's give the effect of the economics teacher and the mathematics teacher. Now, guys, it is given that there is an economics teacher in art stream. It is also teaching commerce students. So herein, the teacher salary is how much? 35,000 into 12. That is, the teacher salary is 4,20,000. That the teacher is basic, the teacher belongs to only arts section. Now see, they are providing services or they are teaching to the commerce students also. And the number of classes taken for commerce students is 208 classes. So 208 classes out of the total classes, 1040 classes. Out of 1040 classes, out of the 1040 classes taken, 208 classes belongs to, is basically provided to the commerce student. So 4,20,000 into 208 divided by 1040. So 84,000 proportionate salary. 84,000 proportionate salary is to be charged to the commerce stream, and it is to be deducted from the art stream, because the teacher is not teaching that much of classes to the art student, but it is teaching it to the commerce student. So 84,000 salary proportionately is to be charged to the commerce stream rather than art stream. So 84,000 हम लोग art stream में से deduct कर देंगे और commerce stream में add कर देंगे. Similarly, for the mathematics teachers also, the salary is 4,20,000. Now, out of the total classes taken, that is 1,100 classes, it is taking 1,600 classes to the commerce student. Sorry, out of the total 1,100 classes, 160 classes are taken for the commerce students. So again, 4,20,000 divided by 1,100 into 160. So the proportionate amount will be 61090. So now this proportionate amount, the services are provided to the commerce students. So 61090. The amount is to be added to the commerce stream and it is to be deducted from the science stream because it is a science teacher. So this is all what about the teacher's remuneration calculation. So 16,80,000 minus 8,40,000. So sorry, 16,80,000 minus 84,000. That is 15,96,000 will be the total salary for the art stream. Two lakh 24,000. Sorry, 22,45,000. 90 will be for the commerce, and for the science it will be 245,8910. So these are the total salaries for all the level of teachers. If you guys have any doubts in this part, you guys can please speak up, because I think there is no power. So whatever the queries you have, you guys can please speak up. In this calculation, I repeat again, this is the total salary for all the teachers. Now, economics teacher is providing economics classes to the commerce. The proportionate amount, that is 84,000, will be deducted from the art stream and it will be added to the commerce stream. Similarly, for mathematics also, again the same thing. The mathematics teacher for the science stream is providing classes to the commerce. So the proportionate amount will be deducted from the science stream and it will be added to the commerce stream. Anyone having any doubts in this part, you guys can please post your queries. You can message me also, that's okay. Waiting for your queries. Anyone? Tanu, Priyanshi, Pooja. If you guys want to speak up also, I can, you can speak up whatever the queries you have. Great, Priyanshi. Anyone else? Neeraj Patel, any doubts? So the trickiest part was the calculation of teachers' remuneration. Now the second part is the peon salary also. So let's discuss peon salary also. Now see what the question is saying for peon salary, that one peon is fully dedicated for the higher secondary section, and other peon dedicate 15% of the time for higher secondary section. So now when talking about the peon salary, see there are total 4 peons. So one per peon salary is 10,000 per month. So when talking about the peon salary, it's 10,000 into 12. That is 1,20,000. So one peon is primarily for this section. That is the higher secondary section. And rest, the other peons, they devote only 15% of their time. So the balance salary of the peon, that is the remaining 3 peon, that is 3,60,000. How come 10,000 into 12 into 3 peons? So the salary is 3,60,000. They devote only 15% of their time. So 3,60,000 into 15%. So this will be 54,000. So 1,74,000 is the total amount. Now, this is to be distributed among commerce, arts, and science stream in the ratio of number of students. Arts, commerce, and science in the ratio of number of students. So it is 120, 360, and 180. So the teacher salary is over, the the peon salary is over. When talking about the principal salary, the basis of distribution is clearly given in the question, that is the time spent by the principal for administration. So the principal salary for the higher secondary section will be distributed in the ratio of 208 is to 312 is to 480 hours. That the ratio of distribution is clearly given. See, ultimately in this question, we have to calculate the total cost of arts, commerce, and science stream, because the school is planning to revise the fee structure. So we need to calculate the cost for only arts, commerce, and science stream, not for the primary or secondary section. So we are done with teacher salary, principal salary. When talking about lab attendant salary, again, the basis of distribution is given in the question. That is, only 144 classes were there only for the science stream. So proportionately for 144 sessions, we'll be just charging it to the science stream, the lab's attendant salary. Further, the salary to the library staff, again, time spent by the library, by the students, again, the salary will be distributed in the ratio, that is the time spent by the students at library. Salary to peon, we have already discussed. Salary to other staff, it can be distributed in the ratio of number of students. Examination expenditure can be distributed in the ratio of examination or number of students. Both the approaches are correct. Office and administration overhead, again, straight away in the ratio of number of students. Annual day expenses, they have given a note that all school students, irrespective of section and age, participate in annual function and sports activity. So again, annual function expenses and sports expenses are to be distributed in the ratio of number of students. That's it. So ultimately, We have nothing to do with primary or secondary students. We are here just to calculate the total cost of senior secondary students. That is separately for arts, commerce and science stream. So ultimately इस क्वेश्चन में करना कुछ भी नहीं है. हम लोगों को कॉस्ट जो है, जो टोटल कॉस्ट है, उसको 3 पार्ट्स में बांटना है. I mean, we have to distribute the proportionate cost to arts, commerce, and science stream. And thereafter, we will calculate the total cost and then accordingly we can set up the fees. If you guys have any doubts in this question also, you guys can please post, waiting for your queries. Further, in this case, the number of units will be the number of students, because at the end of the day, we need to calculate the fees to be charged from the students. So herein, the total cost divided by the number of students, we will get the cost per students. So accordingly, the school can add up the profit margin and can calculate the total fees. So anyways, guys, anyone having any doubts or queries, you guys can please post, waiting for your queries. I'm done with this question and this chapter. I wish I could take this question over the board, but again, since due to some technical issues, I'm taking the lecture over call only, over mobile only. So if you guys have any doubts or queries, you guys can please post your queries, waiting for your queries. Rest the chapter is over. From examination point of view and from practical, I mean, in your practical life also, this chapter is very, very important. As Sen Gupta sir already mentioned, that again, for practical life, this chapter is also very important. So study this chapter with a practical approach, and I assure you, you'll be able to solve the questions in the examination if you revise what I have discussed in these 4 sessions. Okay, 1 second, there is a query from Rohan. Yes, lab attendant is to be apportioned on the basis of lab classes. So see, total lab classes are 144 and 156. Total 300 classes. So the lab attendant salary is 3,60,000. So 3,60,000 divided by 300 into 144 for the science students. So 1,72,000 will go to the science stream, nothing for arts and commerce. I hope, Rohan, your query is resolved. Okay. Is anyone having any doubts in this chapter? Waiting for your queries. I'm done with this chapter. In fact, we have covered most of the questions of study. In fact, all the questions of study material. Apart from this, we have discussed many additional questions, because again, as I said earlier also, from practical life point of view and from examination point of view, this chapter is very, very important. So I hope you guys are thorough with the concepts, still waiting for the queries. If you have any query, you guys can please post your queries.
Good morning, Mr. Bipin.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, dear students. I think we are through with this particular chapter of service costing, which again, sir told that it is one of the very important chapter from practical purpose also. Later on, when you will be studying service tax, now the service tax is GST basically, so you will be able to connect many various things. In fact, I believe that GST is having a lot of connection with the cost accounting. So the concept of cost accounting, a lot of places that can be used as well. Now, regarding this chapter, see different kind of industries having different cost structure and different ways of calculating the cost. However, the basic concept remains the same. One or two things I will tell you to remember, please. One is that what is going to be a particular format of calculating cost, and identification of cost to various type of cost, whether it's running charges, whether it is standing charges, whether it is fixed cost. So classification of those costs also you need to keep in mind. And various places you may also see that depending on the industry, depending on the situation which is given in the question, the treatment may vary. So like cost sheet, I told you that maybe, diesel and petrol for one industry, it may be a direct cost. Another, it may be considered as a part of factory cost. So similarly, there may be some other, cost as well. And treatment of all these things also need to be you need to be very careful. And please keep in mind there are calculations which will be involved in this particular chapter, and language of the question is very important. I think I told you in the first class itself that what exactly the question is trying to say and what is the exact requirement. So please go through the question before solving it very carefully. The words which is given, taking which is given, profit percentage which is given, different kind of cost which is given, and please practice the question from all the service industry we have covered, whether it is IT, whether it is toll, whether it is operating, whether it is bus, whether it is flight, whether it is hotel is again, there can be a lot of complex scenario in hotel. In fact, many strategies also can be linked with that, many marketing strategies or pricing strategies. So you need to be very careful while solving these questions. And we see that a lot of calculation errors in this particular chapter from the students, from you all. So please mindful about this. I think we are through with this chapter, and you can practice as many questions as possible. There are a lot of questions given in the material, a lot of questions given in the RTPs and MTPs, many new questions we have given in the last few years. So from my side, if you have any to the studies, you must be knowing about from board. You have a from my side.
Manish sir, am I audible? I think there are some connectivity issues from sir side also. Okay, so there is a query from Jayendra Pukhale that, sir, how come this 12,000 is the fees? So it is given in the question, Jayendra, that 1,000 per month will be the fees that will be charged from the students. So you are required to calculate the profit. So read the question, Jayendra. It's the second point. What if in case if the school charges a fees of rupees 1,000 per month from every students? So this is how we'll get 12,000. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for your time and patience and for active participation in the session. Once again, there is a query from Rohan if we do working. See, Rohan, the best way is that, check the question, what the question is asking. So if the question is asking a particular thing, just leave the space for that particular thing and then start preparing the working note. Questions आपसे working note नहीं पूछ रहा है, questions आपसे final answer पूछ रहा है. So just keep a space for the final answer and then you can leave the space and then you can start preparing your working notes. So thank you so much, guys, for your time and patience and for active participation in the session. God bless you guys. Try to solve as many as possible question in writing. Again, there is no alternate of hard work. So try to solve the questions in writing and focus more on the concepts rather than memorizing the pattern or a particular pattern. That's what it is. So thank you so much, guys. See you guys soon on Tuesday with the next chapter. And again, the most important chapter from examination point of view, that is standard costing. Till then, I request you guys to revise and solve the questions of service costing. Till then, take care. God bless you guys. See you. Yeah. Manish sir, session is over.